everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed Norwich City 1, Sheffield United 2 here at Carrow Road. I know this is a championship channel, but this is the championship top 2 from last season, so I thought I would come down and give it a look. My first Premier League game in forever and my first look at VAR. Needless to say, fans do not seem to like it, and we had Chris Basham red carded in this game, only for the red card to then be rescinded and he comes back on the pitch. So interesting afternoon in VAR land, in Premier League land, that I as a championship fan don't see very often. Norwich taking the lead in the first half and a quick turnaround start of the second half. Sheffield United bang bang, 2 quick goals and they go on and get the win. Here is what happened, and if you are championship fans, take a look at these 2 lineups, because let's add this up. Only Byram for Norwich and Mousse for Sheffield United are the players that have been added to these teams. It's entirely made up. The other 20 players are all the players that got them up into the Premier League. So nice to see a lot of familiar players, and here they are. Krull in goal for Norwich, Aarons, Zimmerman, Godfrey and Byram. Jamal Lewis on the bench, he was the left back all last season. Teti and Vrancic, who always scores whenever I watched Norwich last season, are the double pivot in midfield. Buendia off to the right, McLean in the 10 position, Arnel Hernandez down the left hand side, and of course Timu Pukki up top. For Norwich, Sheffield United in that famous Chris Wilder 3-5-2 shape. Henderson in goal, Basham, Egan, O'Connell. We can reel this off from last season, can't we? Not much has changed. Baldock right wing back, Stevens left wing back. You've got Norwood sitting, no, number 10 for Sheffield United this season. So you have Lundstrom and Fleck, more a midfield 3. They cannot afford that space in the Premier League. Former Ipswich man David McGoldrick up front with Lees. Mousse, Norwich start well. Buendia blocked out early on and forcing a couple of early corners. Quite frenetic, quite high pace, the ball turning over a lot. Norwich though do get on top fairly early on. Corner here, Pukki and Hernandez recycle it. It's over to McLean, kind of cross shot, left footed, easy for Henderson. Norwich starting to build up the territory. The issue, as I saw it, is the Blades midfield getting sucked back too deep behind that Norwich line of 3 off the front, giving a lot of space then behind for particularly Vrancic to make the play, and then the fullbacks come forward and your back 3 becomes a back 5 very quickly. Sheffield United started this one quite cautiously as well, and I think that gave the impetus to Norwich here. Also, Blades can't get Norwood on the ball. He's too deep, too many bodies there, too much traffic. Chance for Norwich on 13 here. Break, lovely clip over the top by Buendia, who I'm told by the Norwich supporters is not had the best attitude this season, despite being one of the best players last season, but he's on it today. Squared across for Pukki. He swivels. There is a man over, but Pukki shoots and is blocked here. 20. Blades start to come into it now a little bit. They move up the pitch just a few yards. It's more territory, no chances until minute number 25. It's in from the left from Ender Stevens. Ben Godfrey makes a mess of the clearance, kind of like heads it down onto himself. Falls for Dave McGoldrick, half volley right foot, bit scuffy, and Krull makes the save, and here comes the opening goal. I'd said Norwich had been on top from the start of the game. Sheffield United coming into it around the 22 sort of minute mark, halfway through the half. But Norwich take the lead here. They force a corner, so it's an attacking set play. Buendia swings it in. The ball goes up in the air as it's coming down. Zimmerman's kind of running away from the goal as I'm recalling this. It kind of hits him and bounces back. Teti is coming onto the play whilst everyone else is coming off it. Obviously big forest of bodies for Henderson to look through. Teti needs a clean contact. He gets exactly that with the left foot on the half volley, down low to Henderson's left, hits it nice and early, does everything right into the corner, and Norwich take the lead. I'm told Alex Tettey scoring is a very rare occurrence, so I can say I was there. 1-0 Norwich, 27th minute. They're at it, Norwich. Can they go 2 up here? Hernandez down the left. He cuts in and he's blocked. Then Buendia over the top for Pukki. Again, in behind on the angle. Again, he elects to shoot. Buendia has actually continued his run into the middle if Pukki wants to find him back there. No. And Norwich don't manage to ride that wave just after they've scored. Chance on 30, McGoldrick first to it in the box here. He lays this back to Lundstrom, who makes a total mess of it. He's on the edge of the box, tries the right footer, wants to side foot it with power, but completely shanks it on 33. Norwich well forward, give and go. Buendia and McLean. Buendia has got goal side of his man. Looked like he wanted to go down, and he does go down. Nothing given there. Egan gets a yellow for stopping Pukki with a quick throw. The following phase, they win a corner and Godfrey heads that one straight. Henderson, so Norwich still the better side, I would say. 38, Fleck goes easily past Tettey here. Norwood, 30-yarder by him. For someone with such good technique, hasn't quite mastered goal scoring, but I guess that's not his job in this Blades team here. 39, Pukki onto Vrancic here. He drags the low left footer wide. Norwood's booked for a foul in the build-up here. Vrancic's dictating it as we go in to stoppage time. He gets up with the play this time to receive it back low. Right footer. It's going in the corner. Henderson has to parry that one out. Pukki can't follow it up. And we reached half-time and Norwich probably deservedly with the lead. That one decent chance for Sheffield United, which came from Godfrey kind of missing the clearance. Lots of creative players in the Norwich team today, particularly with Vrancic in the deep line playmaking position. As the guys ahead of him forced Sheffield United back, he got more and more space. He was dictating the play, and Buendia really looked at it, drifting about, loves to receive the ball and play passes on the run, outside of the right foot as well, slipping little ones in. Lovely player when he is at it, Buendia, and he and Vrancic dictating the play there. In the first half, Norwich looking good, 1-0 up at half-time. No substitutions from either team, but Sheffield United come out looking a little bit more at it. McGoldrick on the ball, the wing-backs forcing themselves forward here. That's going to be key in this second half. The Sheffield United wing-backs falling back into a back five, but right from the word go in the second half, they're forward, gives McGoldrick the out to go inside, and then he drifts the crossover, and it's Baldock, the right wing-back who's furthest forward. He can't connect with that one, but it looks like Sheffield United have had a right rollicking, and the wing-backs have been told, get forward, this is not a back five, this is a back three, and they're going to vitally combine for the equalising goal. Straight at it, 48 minutes. And that's all it takes, the Blades, 3 minutes to get the equaliser here. It's a quick throw. It's a nice touch here. Forgive me, I haven't seen a replay. Possibly McGoldrick, was it? To get Baldock in down on the right-hand side. As Baldock is lining up the cross on the other side, Ender Stevens, the left wing-back, has come right forward into the box. It's a hanging-ish cross, but Stevens does really well. Up he goes. In behind his marker, heads it goalwards down to Krul's left into the corner. 1-1 Sheffield United, and if the instruction was wing-backs affect the game, you've got one crossing to the other, and he sticks the header in for 1-1, and god damn it, no sooner have Sheffield United equalised, here they go again, and they're going to take the lead. They win it centrally, and now we're getting those overloads with that spare wing-back, centre-back coming forward. It's Basham this time. McGoldrick's involved. They work it out well. It then comes into the box from the right-hand side. It breaks for Baldock, and this is one of those examples where Baldock clearly has in his head what he wants to do with this before he actually gets his touch on the ball. He feints to go left. He shifts the ball right. He's planned this out clearly before he does it. He's not going to look up and try and play a pass. He's going to spin, hit the shot. He's aiming for the corner. Great contact low to Krul's right. Bang! 2-1. Yet again, well done Chris Wilder. He's tried to push his wing-backs on, and in the space of 6 minutes after half-time, one has crossed for the other to score, and then the other's in the middle of the box from an attacking play down the right-hand side to follow up and score to make it 2-1. to Sheffield United and Norwich look a little bit shell-shocked with that one. The ball's in the net again on 55, and this confused the hell out of me, frankly. Basham forward again, rather like Norwich in the first half after they'd scored. Sheffield United at it now. Basham makes his run into the box, and I think it's Hernandez goes with him. Basham puts the brakes on. Hernandez seems to clearly take him down inside the box. The ball then runs on. The offside flag goes up. Lundstrom puts the ball into the net. And what is going on here? Everything stops. Look, I don't watch the Premier League. I don't know what they can and can't check for. You'll have to smarten me up in the comments. But it looked like there was a penalty in the build-up to this. And then it comes up, they're checking for a goal. And I'm sort of, okay, well, the offside flag went up. Lundstrom seemed offside. Krul seemed to stop as the shot goes in. Are they checking the goal so they can check back to see whether it's a penalty? Because it could not be a goal but be a penalty. And in the end they give absolutely nothing. So frankly, very confusing state of affairs. I've not seen any replays. I've tried to get some stuff walking up here on Twitter, not seen anything yet. Looked like Basham got taken down for a penalty, but not given. There is the upshot of that, and we wait 3 minutes while VAR checks for a goal. Interesting. Let me know what actually happened there in the comments if you were watching on TV there. I'm a bit befuddled by all of it. 56, Vrancic, left footer, deflects wide here. Corner goes in low, the old Darren Anderton, Teddy Sheringham one. Pookie gets blocked out. Third one for Norwich Forced is headed straight at goal by Ben Godfrey. Couple of Blades players on yellow cards here. So Norwood is taken out for Besic, presumably to stop him getting a red. And Mousse, who was limping just before he went off, goes off. Callum Robinson comes on. Straight swaps for both. Besic going to sit, deep line playmaker. Robinson pace for pace up front. Daniel Farke reacts. Lewis on for Byram at left back. Cantwell goes down the left wing. He comes on for Arnel Hernandez. Now, here we go. We're in the centre of midfield here. It's Basham and McLean, 73rd minute. Basham launches himself into this challenge. I'm going to plead the fifth because I'm watching from the stand. What's it called? The city stand, the south stand. I don't even know what the stands are called at Norwich. Basham goes through, big roar. So look, let's refer to the laws of the game. We are looking for excessive force. We are looking for him to be endangering his opponent. Referee has a little look at it. He's going for his back pocket, so you know what's coming. Out comes the red card, and off to the side trots Chris Basham, sorry. Steve Basham used to play for Bournemouth in the 90s, didn't he? Chris Basham, excuse me. Basham waits on the sidelines and they're checking this. And it flashes up that they're checking the red card on VAR. And lo and behold, having been red carded, I think it's Simon Hooper, the ref, makes the sign, and he's going to bring Basham back into the game. Back from the dead, like Jesus at Easter. Don't give me the Jesus jokes with my long hair and beard. Basham red carded and then unred carded by VAR. So look, again, I don't watch Premier League. I don't know what they can and can't check for. It's clear and obvious mistakes, isn't it? And that deemed to be a clear and obvious mistake, but Basham is then booked. So obviously not the serious foul play, excessive force, endangering opponent, but enough for a yellow card. Let me know in the comments if you've seen a replay of that one. Bizarre to see a guy get the red card, trot off, and then come back on. Goodness me. Never seen anything like it in my life. 78, big chance here on the counter here though. Can they wrap it up? Besic drives down the middle of the pitch, does really well. Sends McGoldrick fairly wide, engages the centre half. Godfrey, I think, gets it out of his feet, puts it across the keeper, and it goes just wide. But on 79 minutes, even bigger chance. I believe Dave McGoldrick still hasn't scored in the Premier League. He has to score here. What a miss. Even better position. He's one-on-one with Krul when he gets played in. A little bit narrower, a little bit more time, a little bit ahead. And I think he's just tried to go across the keeper. He's going to try and blast this one near post, roof of the net. And he puts it over. What a miss. Will that come back to haunt Sheffield United as we go into the last 10 minutes. Sabrani, another forward, comes in for Vrancic. So Tetty's going to go and sit. McLean comes back, sort of tucks in. Buendia comes back, sort of tucks in as well. Cantwell, is he a number 10? Is that 4-1-3-2 like Luton play, or a diamond midfield? Hard to ascertain. Just extra bodies up top here. And they do force the chance. It's not a big chance, but it's a really good save by Dean Henderson. Buendia forward gets laid off to Cantwell, arriving, hits it well, hits it low. Henderson down to his left. It's a good hit by Cantwell, and it's a good save by Dean Henderson to his left in the goal. And that was as good as it was going to get for Norwich. 82, McBurney comes in for McGoldrick. That adds a little bit of height as well up top there in terms of, you know, playing diagonals out whilst you're defending. A lead, 6 minutes stoppage time, given our VAR fun and games. Cantwell forward for Tetty, shanks that one right on 91, but Sheffield United see this one out fairly well. Robinson gets a yellow for kicking it away, but otherwise nothing doing. And last season's second place team get the win away at last season's first place team. As I said in my open here, 10 players on either side from championship squads last year. I know Sheffield United have loaned back Dean Henderson, but only Byram for Norwich and Mousse for Sheffield United. So very much loyal to the teams that got them up. We know there's been different approaches here. Sheffield United have had to sign. Obviously, the front two that got them up are Sharp and McGoldrick, both into their 30s. So we've seen people like Robinson and Mousse come in for sort of, what, 27 million combined. We've seen Freeman and Osborne come in to the squad but not get used. Stevens too good in that left wing back position where Osborne would play, and Lundstrom coming in as a third midfielder, so Freeman hasn't got a chance at number 10. They're still eking their way in. Norwich seem to have stayed very loyal to the players that got them up, and it's frankly working out quite differently for both teams. Sheffield United up in the top half and winning games. Forgive me, I haven't looked at the points. Norwich down in the bottom three and very regularly losing games. If anyone has an explanation as to why, with 10 players from last season on both sides, it's working so well for Sheffield United and not for Norwich, is it that little tweak that Blades have made in taking out the number 10 and just shoring themselves up and making them a bit defensive? I don't know. First game of either team I have seen. Needless to say, it's not looking very good for Norwich at all. Look, they did concede a lot of goals in the Championship. Obviously, they scored absolutely hatfuls, though, didn't they? Into the 90s for goals scored. But maybe just the extra quality. Do they need to make a little tweak, make it look more 4-3-3-ish, lose their number 10 like Sheffield United have? I don't know. We'll see as the season rolls on. But Daniel Farke still really sticking with a 4-2-3-1, split defenders, fullbacks high, lots of rotation in midfield. Deep line playmaker was Vrancic today, very bold, very attacking, but they've come away with 0 points and lie in the bottom three. If you're a Sheffield United fan, let me know what you think, what is working, and how have you been able to continue winning football? Is it that you've been winning now for a few years, right, since Wilder came in League One? I don't know. I've not been watching every week. Let me know in the comments. Norwich fans, do you stick with it, ride it out and be stable? It's going to be a relegation if it stays the same for Norwich. Or does a tweak need to be made? Or can they actually come good playing this way with these players? Let me know what you think in the comments. Nice to be back watching these two teams. Built up a nice rapport with both sets of fans last year. So please do say hi if, while I've been doing my championship thing, you haven't been watching. Nice to be back and see these two clubs one more time. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit subscribe, ring the bell if you're here for the first time. If you are a Premier League fan, it is mainly Championship stuff, but hey, come and give me a look if you want some cogent, hopefully honest analysis of the games that I see. You can support me on patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. I have been at Norwich, where it was Norwich 1, Sheffield United 2, a red card rescinded by VAR. Sheffield United march on and Norwich stay in the bottom three. Thank you for watching. Over and out.